Hello and welcome to this week's video. If you're new here, my name's Jenny. I love all things crochet and yarn. This is just my little weekly video where I show you what I have managed to make. So let's get into it. Now, in last week's video, I did give a little teaser in regard to a pattern test that I had completed for Cecilia at Iris Cecile. And that was a pattern test of Mr. Hoppity McRibbit, a gorgeous little frog. And I'm happy to say that the pattern has released, so I can show you now. So here we go. Look at this guy. You would have seen him on the thumbnail, but honestly, he's pretty impressive. This pattern, oh my goodness. It is incredibly detailed, very, very detailed, lots of instructions, lots of pictures. It is almost no sew. The only thing that you do need to sew is the head to the body. Everything else is crocheted ahead of time, like the little eye bumps here are crocheted and then crocheted into the head. The arms and the legs are also crocheted ahead of time and then worked into the body as you work around. So she does say in the pattern that I guess to allow for 3 hours plus as far as how long it takes to make. Now, I didn't time him, but definitely he is a longer make. I'm not sure if it took me 3 hours. I feel like I was under 3 hours, but he's pretty cool. Obviously you have some color changes for this part here. That was fine. I found that when I was doing the headpiece on this side here, I was finding that it was coming in a lot sharper and it wasn't really looking as symmetrical as I would have liked. So I did go back in with some cream at the end and tried to tidy it up a little bit. You can kind of tell, but it's still passable. The bottom was fine. These parts here, I think I recall that you went back in and slip stitched around once you'd finished that actual section, and that was not hard at all. The little yellow around his eyes is just done. I've just used black safety eyes, and then she has you just go in with a yellow of, you know, another chenille or something and go around. His little shoes, that was excuse me, that was, I think, when I saw the shoes, I was like, I have to apply for this guy. I just thought they were so cool. So I don't know. I just love him. He's quite unique, I think. Now this guy, I actually did put some weighted pellets in this guy. So he is quite, he has a bit of weight to him, and oh my gosh, you wait till you see all the testers' photos. Wow. It was quite a large tester group, but honestly, some of these testers just absolutely smashed it. Their photos and everything are just unreal. So my guy, yeah, he's just going to sit. He can't do too many of the poses that some of the other ones were doing, but I envisaged that he would sit, you know, on a shelf or something like that and just have his legs dangling over. So I love him. I used Zaddy Crafts, a really good chenille, and a 5mm hook. She does say in the pattern that she uses yarn under yarn over, and so that's not my technique of choice. However, I did want to, especially as it was a pattern test, I did want to try and replicate it as good as possible. So I did do the same. But yeah, he's pretty big. He's pretty big. So I think I'll probably send him out to the shop where I sell my items. But yeah, he's just going to find his person, I think. as I said, he's quite unique, and I'm sure that somebody will love him. But the pattern is out today. Now, at the time that this video goes up, and having said that, I'm hopeful I'm going to get it up tonight, but I'm leaving it very, very late in the day to be recording. So hopefully it will be up tonight, because she was running a special. Now, hopefully I've managed to pop a picture in here. She did, while the test was on, decide to design a mushroom hat. And so that is going to be available as a standalone pattern. However, for the first 24 hours, once she released it, it's going to be free. So yeah, hopefully I will get I've already popped that on my Instagram, so if you follow me there, you would have seen that already, that notice, hopefully. But yeah, if you think you're interested, I would say grab it now, don't wait, because hopefully if you're within the 24 hours, you'll be able to get the pattern for the mushroom hat for free. But honestly, absolutely fabulous pattern. I think she says advanced beginner to intermediate. I just can't quite recall, but it's a good pattern. It's a really, really good pattern, and I really, really enjoyed it. And I think I'll wait and see if he sells before I make another one, but I definitely want to make another one. And I think next time I will do my usual yarn over and see the difference, just see how it compares. But I loved it, absolutely loved it. So to all my frog lovers out there, I know there was a few that were waiting to see this. Here he is. So there you go. That was the first pattern test. Now, which actually I completed last week, but obviously I could only show now. Now, just to really mix it up a bit, I had Kylie from Stitched Up Craft, one of my longtime crochet friends, also the author of the book A Year of Granny Squares. You may recall I did that year-long crochet along. I've pattern tested her for quite a few years, and she has a number of patterns that are going to hopefully be coming out this year. And she will often just put a little message in our group and ask if anyone has time to test certain things. And unfortunately, I just don't have time to test blankets and things like I used to. However, she did have a cute little spa set that I said that I would be able to test. I would be able to fit it in for her. And I did finally manage to do that this week. So it comes with the pattern for a little basket. Now mine is probably a little bit larger than it should be. I used the same weight yarn, which was like an Aran weight cotton, which is what the pattern recommends, but a different brand. Now she's thinking that maybe because it was a different brand, it has turned out slightly bigger. But having said that, like it's still great. So you make the little basket, and then that is to hold 8 little face scrubbies. This is such a fun pattern. It's really, really pretty, and it works up so quickly, So I just did 2 in 4 different colors. This is the Keepsake Organic Cotton from Spotlight. Hopefully that color shows up quite true to what it actually is. And then finally this like a dusty lilac. So I did those 8. The idea is that they fit inside the little basket, and this was really fun. It was a really clever construction. There comes a point when you're working up and you actually turn it inside out, and then you do one round that way, then you turn it back the correct way, and then you continue, and it's just very clever. And I think it's really pretty. I think I will actually use this for something else and just potentially keep my scrubbies somewhere else. But we'll see, but it's like a really nice little set that you could gift someone. But it also comes with a pattern for a headband. Also beautiful texture of the headband. I think the color's looking a bit ordinary on camera there, but it is a lot nicer in person. And then you just have a button and a little loop there to attach. So, you know, what a nice little gift that you could make for someone. And she is hoping that she will be able to release it soon. I think she's just needing a couple more testers. So anyway, so that was a really fun set that I did for Kylie. So once it has been released, I will give you all of the details, but you might like to actually follow her over on Instagram. She's just at Stitched Up Craft. I will have her Instagram linked below for you. Now, what else did I do? Okay, I guess, to be honest, I've struggled with a lot of decision paralysis and overwhelm, I think, this week. I'm 2 weeks back into being back at work, so I've got a lot less time. I feel like there's so many things that I need to do and I just can't decide what to focus on. There are also a lot of things I would like to do for video ideas because I want to have other things on my channel, not just my weekly little check-in. You know, I really love doing pattern roundup videos and finding free patterns and making them and talking about them. I love doing that kind of thing, but just, you know, you feel the pressure to have that weekly video. It's a lot. So I'm deciding whether I might just change things up a little bit, or at least not feel the pressure to put a video up every Sunday. So we're just going to see what happens, I think. Anyway, when I'm feeling quite overwhelmed, I will often go back to a pattern that, you know, that I've made a lot of, that I know what I'm doing, I love the outcome. And so, of course, we went with our little friend Drift, the octopus here. So this is some of that Bernat blanket that I got recently. And yeah, of course, I can't recall the name of it, although I might have the band right here. I really like it, and I think I will actually probably purchase more of it because it was really nice to work with, and I think it looks great in a plushy form. So this was Dino Egg Dot. That's what it was. I used I think I'm going to say maybe a 6.5 millimeter hook for the head part, and then once I started work on the tentacles and that, I think I changed to a 7. So always love doing a drift, and they sell well as well. So I made that, and then what did I do after that? I was also doing the pattern test for the scrubbies and everything. But I thought I'd make some more little mini octos. Now, my go-to pattern used to be the all-in-one octo by Tammy at Crafty Mumpreneur. I still love that pattern, but I just wanted something a little bit quicker because I guess as expected, the sales at the shop, you know, things are changing. Before Christmas, a lot of my big items were just flying off the shelves. At the moment, that has really slowed down, which is understandable, but the smaller makes are going quite well. So I need to be stocking up on some smaller makes. So I went, and I have a feeling this might be the first time I've made this pattern. It's the free little, I think it's the All From Jade pattern. It's the mini squishy octo, I believe, or the baby squishy octo. I'll have the screenshot of the pattern on the screen, but I just looked at my little stash and my part-used skeins of my yarn that's a bit more blanket type, and I just made a heap of them. So I had so much fun. It's, you know, you make it, I think by the second time I'd made it, and probably even after the first time, I didn't need the pattern anymore because it's very easy to remember. And I just made a heap of them in all different colors. So, and it was good to use up some of my yarn. So there we go. There's all different shades. There's a lot of it is yarn that I have grabbed from the mill ends at Spotlight. This is the Ocean Waves, I believe, Bernat, that I made my big anchor in. But yeah, really fun, really cute, love them. So I made 8 in total, and I'm definitely going to be making more. I have also recently purchased a pattern for an Octo that has, it's, you know, it's the baby friendly one with the curly tentacles that little bubs can have, and you embroider the eyes, etc. So I need to locate that pattern somewhere, and I think I will also make a couple of those. And the only other thing that I did make, which I only did today, and so this is also why I guess I am recording so late in the day. This is Mama Genevieve, the Lullaby doll, and this pattern is by Stitch Sister Co. She's kind of cute. You've got the little baby that fits in here in this little wrap. So cute. It probably took me, I'd say, at least an hour and 3/4, maybe a bit longer, but I did do the yarn under, yarn over technique, and for me that's just slows me down. But I do like how it looks. I do like how the stitches appear, and again, I was able to use up just some of my blanket yarn here. The pink was from Mill Ends at Spotlight, and the face colour is from Yarn Over, Yarn Under here in Australia. Just their chenille yarn, but it's quite thick. It's a little bit stiff. It wasn't necessarily fun to work with. I think, you know, I like how it looks, but it is quite stiff. So, but it did work well in conjunction with the other yarns. The brown for the hair is also Yarn Over, Yarn Under, and the wrap is Premier Basics chenille in hibiscus, I believe. So yeah, but I do think it turned out really cute, and I think a little girl would love this. In the pattern, it does have a tutorial for you to embroider on flowers onto the doll if you like, and I think that is something I wouldn't mind doing in the future, because I think it just adds something a little bit extra. But I'd had enough by the time that I finished, and so I'm not going to worry about it, but I think it turned out really nice. So that is all the finished makes for the week. So not a great deal, but as I said, I just haven't had time. I've had to do a bit of nanny duty this week as well. My granddaughter was sick, so my daughter had to work from home, and so I helped out with dropping him to daycare, pickups and drop-offs and all of that kind of stuff. And so yeah, it just ate into my crochet time, but that's okay. I do also want to thank everybody who has purchased either Biggie or Benny or both. Probably the vast majority of the sales have been for the bundle, but the pattern is performing much better than I expected, and I'm just so grateful. So thank you very much. And even if you haven't bought it, if you've shared, if you've just left nice comment, whatever, I really appreciate it. And Karen from Yarn and Whimsy, she let me know that both her Benny and Biggie sold almost straight away when she did her little Etsy drop, so that was really nice to hear as well. Thank you, Karen, for letting me know that. I know that Logan from Logan Crochets, she's going to be making a jumbo one for a bakery, I think, for a shop that she sells wholesale to. So there's a lot of exciting things coming, and yeah, it's just awesome. So I think with that said, I know it's quite a short video, but honestly, there just wasn't much to show you. So I guess that's just how it is. I do know, and I can tell you in advance, that there will be no video next Sunday because we are having a long weekend away in beautiful Melbourne, and I can't wait. And so I'm not going to be here, so therefore no video. But as I said, I might be changing things up a little bit anyway, and I really would like to do more of the roundup videos and things like that. So hopefully you will stick around for whatever it is that I can manage to get put out there. But thank you for being here. I really appreciate you all, and until I see you next time, bye for now.